A very good morning, children. How are you all? Welcome to ninth class. Very easy passing of 8th class. So, hope you're all very happy for that. So, I really welcome you all to this online platform so that we can share our lessons of biology. So, as you're in ninth class, the portion or the syllabus is completely different when you compare it with the 8th class. So here the first unit is cell, its structure and functions. So cell, its structure and functions. So the first unit deals with the word called as cell. So now here we'll try to understand what is cell. What is cell? So what is cell? Cell can be defined as basic structural functional unit of body. Everybody repeat with me. Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of our body. Now why it is a basic unit? Why it is called as basic unit? Because each and every living organism, if you see, the starting point, the initial point of the formation is the cell. So it is base for everything. So it is the first thing to form in the womb of a mother. So that's why we call the cell as a basic unit. And the second one is it's a structural unit of our body. Why it is called as structural unit of our body? Because if you take the liver may be an organ. Liver may be an organ, but it is made up of n number of cells which are called as hepatocytes. So the structure of this particular liver is formed because of what? Cells. So that's why we call the cell as a structural unit. Even if you take the kidney also, there are several cells which are called as nephrons. All these nephrons, some 2 lakhs of nephrons are there in each and every kidney. So all these cells called nephrons will form a structure which we call as kidney. Even if you take the brain, there are several lakhs and lakhs of neurons which will form the brain. So each and every cells are together forming the structures of each and every organ of our body. That's the reason why we call it as structural unit. So the next one is the functional unit. Why it is called as functional unit? Because each and every function of the organism or the organ depends upon the cell. See, if the cells in the liver doesn't function, then it's a liver failure. If the cells in the kidney doesn't function properly, the kidney will not function properly. So the functioning of the kidney is completely based on what? On the cell. So that's why we call cell as functional unit of our body. So now you might have understood, children, now what is cell? Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of our body. This is what we have learned in the 8th class, that is in the lower classes. So now today we will see what are the contents of the cell. So we learned a very little about the cell, and today we are going to see maximum part of the cell. So we are going to study the cell in detail. So we are going to study the cell in detail from now. So coming to the cell, its structures and functions. So when you take the cell, all the organisms, we say that they have cells. So we can divide the organisms into 2 categories. One is unicellular, second one is multicellular. So organisms can be divided into two types. One is unicellular and second one is the multicellular. So what are unicellular organisms? The organisms which have only single cell throughout their life are called as unicellular organisms. So you can take the best example is amoeba. Second one is paramecium. So these are all the unicellular organisms. Even you can take the example of the bacteria. These are all the unicellular organisms. They remain single cell throughout their lifetime. So all the functions of the organism are carried only with a single cell. So only the single cell will carry all the functions of the organism. So when you come to the multicellular, this organism which have many cells in their body or which are made up of many cells are called as multicellular organisms. Though the initial point is only single cell, but that single cell divides into two, and this 2 will divide into 4, and 4 divides into 8, 8 to 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. It goes on. The number will goes on up to millions and millions number until the organ system is formed. So that is the difference between the unicellular and the multicellular organisms. Can you give me some examples of the multicellular? Yes, we, that is man. Or you can take all the animals, birds. Okay, so you can take all these examples of different organisms which are made up of many cells. So this is the differentiation between the unicellular and the multicellular organisms. Okay, so now what does a cell contain? What does a cell contain? So when you think of a cell, how the cell will be? What is the shape of a cell? And what are the contents of the cell? What are the materials present in the cell? So these are the different kinds of doubts which will arise in our mind. Now where is this cell now? The cell is in our body. It is a basic unit of our body. It is a structural unit of our body. It is a functional unit of our body. Based on that, all the organisms are classified into two. One is unicellular, second one is multicellular. So unicellular, single celled, multicellular, many celled. So this is what we have read till now. So when you come to the typical cell, the next topic is what we are going to read is or understand is typical cell. Okay, now what does a cell contain? Okay, so we'll try to understand what does a cell contain. Now this is the shape of a cell. Cells are of different shapes and all, but it's an imaginary kind of as a diagram. So the first and foremost thing which we are going to learn in this unit is the nucleus, which we call as nucleus. So this plays a major role in functioning of the cell. And second one is there is completely a fluid-like substance in the cell which is called as cytoplasm. What is called as cytoplasm? So cytoplasm is a liquid portion present in the cell. It is said that 80% of the cytoplasm is nothing but water. So the liquid portion which is present in the cell is called as a cytoplasm. And now the layer which you can see here, which is surrounding the cytoplasm, this is a layer which is surrounding the cytoplasm, which is enclosing the cytoplasm. This layer is called as plasma membrane. Plasma membrane, or else we also call it as the cell membrane. So what we call it as plasma membrane, or else you can also call it as, right, cell membrane. So apart from that, there are many things which are present in the cell. All the stuff, for example, if you take our body, all the structures in our body are called as organs. They are called as organs. Now, if you take a single cell, there are several structures in the cell. What they are called as? They are called as organelles. One is called as organelle. All together are called as organelles. Okay. So now here, this is one of the organelle. So this is called as the nucleus. And then there is another part which is present around the nucleus, which we call it as the endoplasmic reticulum. It is called as endoplasmic reticulum. And then there are some heart-shaped and P-shaped structures which are called as ribosomes. And then there are some other structures which are called as the lysosomes. Okay, and then there is a skeletal part or skeleton-like structure present in the cell which is called as the cytoskeleton. Then there is another part which is called as mitochondria. And there is another part which is called as Golgi complex. Like this, several organelles are present in the cell. So one is called as organelle. Altogether, if you are taking one or two or three, more than two number, we call it as organelles. So Golgi complex, plasma membrane, mitochondria, cytoskeleton, lysosomes, ribosomes, nucleus, cytoplasm, all together, these are all called as organelles. Exclude cytoplasm. So all these together are called as organelles. So a cell is a structure which has so many organelles in it. And one more organelle is the chloroplast. So these are all the organelles which are present in the cell. So here you can see the nice picture, a colorful picture of the cell, and also you can see the different parts very, very clearly. Are you able to see, children? Yeah, that's really great. Okay, so now shall we switch on to the next topic? Good. So now this is a cell, and now we are going to see the differences between the animal cell and the plant cell. Now, for now, I'll tell you two differences which we are going to discuss now. Later, we will go ahead with the two other examples. So now here are differences. So now, if you take a plant cell, if it is a plant cell, now we'll take it as a plant cell. All the organelles are usually present in the plant cell and animal cell except one or two. Especially, you take the chloroplast. This chloroplast is present in the plant cell, but in the animal cell, it is absent. You cannot see the chloroplasts in where? In the animal cells, but whereas they are present in the plant cells. Can you tell me why? What is the function of these chloroplasts? Yes, absolutely right. So they are helping in the process called as photosynthesis. They help in the process called as photosynthesis. So they are helping in preparation of the food material. So just assume, children, if we had chloroplast in our body, I will never teach online classes, or never you will listen, or never improve our knowledge, or never inculcate new things and all, because our body will be producing the food material, so there is no need of any work. But unfortunately, or fortunately I will say, we don't have chloroplast in our body, and that's the reason why we are able to equip lot of knowledge, and we are able to research several things. Okay, so and that you can see that's the reason why chloroplast is present in the plant cell, but they are absolutely absent in the animal cell. So the next part which is present in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell is the layer around the plasma membrane. There is another special layer around the plasma membrane. So this membrane is called as the cell wall. It's called as cell wall. So cell wall is the second organelle which is present in the plant cell but completely absent in the animal cell. So the next topic we will definitely discuss about the cell wall and the chloroplast in detail, but for now these are the two different examples which we have to remember so that you can understand plant cell and animal cell more better.